This episode is intended for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised. Meow, meow,
meow. Hey there, this is Noel Barlow from Nibbling with Noel, and I am this week's guest on this frequency.
Welcome, kittens and cats, to another episode of On This Frequency. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Rickie.
And on this week's episode, we'll be talking about food. But first, here's this week's moment of laughter from comedian Jim Gaffigan.
I identify with whales. I struggle with my weight. I'm on this fancy diet, that Domino's pasta bread bowl diet. It's going all right. All right. Have you seen the Domino's pasta bread bowl? It's a bread bowl filled with pasta, covered in cheese. The only ingredient missing, a suicide note. I eat unhealthy. I actually enjoy eating unhealthy, but a Domino's pasta bread bowl? I got kids. I don't want one of them in a therapist's office. If my dad loved me, why would he eat a Domino's pasta bread bowl?
First of all, the voice fry that he uses. Why would I use the pasta bread bowl?
Have you ever watched any Jim Gaffigan?
No, I haven't.
He's one
so
of my
good.
Yes, he's one of my
good.
favorite comedians,
Really?
like hands down. And I remember listening to this one about the bread bowl, which I've never had for the record, but I do identify like feeling like a whale sometimes.
So as soon as you mentioned this little skit, I was like, what the fuck is in this bread bowl?
Mm-hmm.
And it's bread and pasta and cheese, and like you said, it's a whole heart attack, and I had to like physically go and Google it because I was like, how does this even happen?
You were like bothered, like who
Yeah.
makes this?
Yes, it was gross. So if you guys get a second, Google the Domino's bread bowl. It's kind of disturbing. Personally, sorry.
It is. And he actually, in the rest of that segment, in that clip, he talks about, like, how the hell did they come up with this? Like, who's sitting around the Domino's, decision-making process and says,
Right.
this is a great idea.
I'm heavy breathing as we speak, just thinking about it.
Yeah. Yes.
But anyway, so that clip comes from a comedian Jim Gaffigan's special that is available on Netflix. It's called Obsession. Meow, meow, meow,
Yes. So our special guest this week first cooked for the Rose City Sound family during Natalie and my brother Mike's COVID wedding that took place in my apartment when she prepared a shockingly delicious ricotta-free lasagna. I had no idea that ricotta was such it's what makes lasagna, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and speaking of COVID, when the lockdown hit and Noel, our special guest, had to work from home, she discovered just how much she enjoyed cooking. And as a result, Noel decided to start a cooking blog where she shared her recipes, tips, tricks, all of that. And her enthusiasm for cooking was now being shared with the world on @Nibbling with Noel. Noel has a wonderful gift. She's a nurturer, a caretaker, and during some very difficult times that I was encountering, Noel managed to fix me a scrumptious cocktail and a home-cooked meal that reignited the little burning light in my soul. So preparing a meal for someone is an act of love. And we're glad to have her here today. Remember to catch her on Instagram @Nibbling with Noel. And we'll put it in we'll put it in the liner notes of this episode.
Welcome, Noel.
Hello.
I'm so happy that you're here.
Thank you for having me. This is an honor.
And thank you for making food for us today.
You're
It was so
welcome.
good.
So good.
Oh, what a treat.
Yes, if you're
You're welcome.
if you're following us on Instagram, you'll see that Noel prepared for us. What did you call it? A rib dip.
Rib dip, yeah.
Rib dip.
With a little au jus sauce, a little dip.
Also known as bomb as fuck.
We're fans of Noel's cooking here. We get
Huge fan
excited.
right here. I think I might
Yeah, I was
be
going to say
Noel's
Bartley is
number one.
definitely my number one.
Number one fan. For sure.
He's
But-
easy to please.
Hey, before we get into all of this talking about food and all of the goodness that lives in our souls and in our tummies, Rickie had mentioned that, Noel, you have a moment of rage and love. So, in honor of that segment, we want to know how you turned a moment of rage into a moment of love. So, you want to
Yes.
share with us a little bit?
Yes,
What you got
of
going on?
course. I'm a little sad that the section was taken out, but I
Mm.
hope that it comes back and it dabbles into your episodes.
Yes.
So I'm honored to share my little story.
Mm.
Not a story I thought was going to go from rage to love, and it's something that you don't appreciate till after the fact. So for Christmas, Chris is my husband, we decided to buy Charlie, one of my oldest nieces, tickets to Harry Potter World. And
That's
I
at
know.
Universal Studios, right?
Yes, at Universal
Okay.
Studios Hollywood, up in LA. And right, like we're winning. Auntie and uncle are totally winning this.
Big
right?
points. Big points.
Big points. So I bought tickets through work. So I don't know if corporate America, normally you can buy like tickets for discounts, right?
Yeah.
So I buy these tickets. Great, whatever. It comes out to like $388 after the discount. I'm like,
Right.
okay, I can do this, whatever. Buy the tickets for December 28th. So she would open them on Christmas, the 25th. We'd go 3 days later on the 28th.
You had this all planned out.
Oh, yeah, it was like a whole thing, right?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
dope. Like,
Yeah.
we're starting love, right? But that's not what happens, right? So 25th comes around. She opens them. Great video. It's awesome. We're all there. The family's there. We all go home. We wake up the 26th, and my sister texts us, and she's like, hey, y'all, I tested positive. We're like,
No.
Damn that COVID.
damn the COVID. We're like, well, what do we do? And so, my niece's mom, Stephanie, is like, what are you going to do? You going to go? And I'm like, well, clearly you don't have an issue if I took her, but the responsible thing is not to go. So Chris and I decided that we'll postpone.
Right.
Great. I call Universal Studios. I'm like, hey, this is the situation.
Wait, hold on. These tickets you bought were for a specific day, so you had to go on that day. It's not like you buy tickets and you can go wherever you want now.
It's like a reservation.
Correct.
I haven't been to an amusement park in
Yes,
God knows how long,
correct.
so that's how it works now.
I mean,
that's how they do it at
that's
Disney
how,
now.
that's how I assumed, which is why I called, because I was a little concerned,
Right.
that- So I call Universal. I'm like, hey, got these tickets for the 28th, COVID, blah, blah, blah. The spiel, right? Like, this is the life we live in.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, that's fine. You can come on, whenever day you choose, and you'll pay the difference. Because,
Oh, shit.
now I'm coming on another day, and
Right.
it could potentially be more or less, right?
Uh,
And I got a discount through the work. I go, great, done. So we get through December, we get through January, I get COVID, he gets COVID. Like, life is happening. Like, this is-
Everybody gets COVID.
and just life is happening. I'm not like immediately like, okay, let's book right away. Like, it's
Yeah.
like whenever Charlie's calendar is open,
yeah.
So end of January comes, we're like, let's book the day we want to go. This was her, she's antsy, she's 12.
She's
She wants to
waiting
go
now.
to Harry Potter World. This is her thing. So we book it. We're like, okay, I asked Stephanie, February 14th, we'll rebook. Great. February 14th comes around, which is, just a week ago. We show up. And I get a little concerned because I'm like, The week before, I called to confirm again with Universal, like just to confirm. I was feeling this way, and I call Universal. I'm like, hey, like confirming. And this is a week before, and they're like, no, like, oh, ma'am, I see your reservation. I see that you bought through third party tickets at work. We unfortunately can't change we can't change the ticket. You have to call Tickets at Work, the third party that I purchased them from.
Oh my
They
God.
have to change it. She goes, I see it's an unused ticket. She goes, shouldn't be a problem, right? I go, yeah, shouldn't be a problem. Call the third party. No, that's not our policy. Like, you needed to change them beforehand. And I'm instantly like, look, bitch, this is $400. What are you telling me?
I'm going
What-
today.
what are you telling, right? So I hang up and I'm like fuming, and I text Chris. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if we're going to be able to go next week. Like,
Yeah.
we might just have to, we're going to go, but we're going to have to pay for tickets.
Right.
He said, call again. I call again. They know who I am now because it's like they probably noted it on this confirmation. So they escalate it for me saying COVID. I'm like, this is like, screw your policy. We're in like the thick of COVID. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And they put in that it was for COVID reasons that we didn't call on time, blah, blah, blah. Gets escalated, gets
Oh,
denied,
wow.
gets denied. They basically say, good luck, you have to go. I call Universal. They're like, we can't do anything.
Oh my
Like, you're going to have to buy
gosh.
tickets again. So, Charlie doesn't know any of this. And we're like, okay, we set the new date. I'm like so annoyed already that I have to pay new tickets, another $400, and probably more now because without the discount.
Right.
What?
So we get to Universal, and I'm like, so this is my moment of rage. I'm fucking pissed. I'm like, come on, like really?
Yeah.
Like we were doing the responsible thing by not bringing Charlie to Harry Potter World because we potentially had COVID.
Right.
Yet here I am getting screwed from this $400 ticket.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. So we
Wow.
go. We're gonna have a good day. Whatever. We go to the ticket line. We attempt to get in with the tickets. Clearly, I even told the guy, this is probably not going to work, but can you just...
But let's go.
Can you
Fuck
just
it.
scan this real quick and let me know? And he's like, it didn't work. I'm like, fuck. So I look at Chris and I look at Charlie. I'm like, Charlie, prepare to cry.
We ain't going in, homegirl.
Prepare to cry.
set
And
the
she's so confused
scene.
because she's like, didn't you buy tickets, Auntie? I'm like, wow.
You brought me here.
We
and
go
you're
to
not
guest
going
week.
in?
We go to guest services, and I prepare to act naive because I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna do this right.
Yeah.
If I come in hot, I'm screwed, right? That's just doesn't end well. I go up. I go, hey, called Universal. A week ago, we got COVID. As you can see, December 28th, we couldn't come. They told me that I could pay the difference to come in. I stuck with that original thing that Universal told me because they did tell me that. Okay, let me look. Clack, 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 clack. She looks, beep, 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 beep. She looks up. Oh, it's a nice day out. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay. I'm like, oh shit. And then I hear Chris in the back of me going, Charlie, are you so excited? And he's like hyping her up. And
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He's making sure the girl can hear how excited we are. And we drove here and it was a whole thing, right? I'm like, fuck.
$400.
She goes,
down.
okay. She goes, the difference will be $72. My moment of love, right? Hit. I'm like, my wallet's happy. We're good.
This is gonna work.
We're going to Universal.
Yes.
So we get in, I had to pay $72. I was fucking stoked. We go in. She sees Harry Potter World and her little face just lit up. She had one of those moments where she kind of squeezed her hand in her face and was like, ah, we're here.
That's
and my
awesome.
moment of love, everybody.
Ah.
It's
A
wonderful.
moment of relief right there, dude, because it would have been what's after rage?
Oh my God.
Just pissed.
Yeah.
Murder.
Getting
Settle down.
getting the runaround.
It was just bullshit.
It was.
What a
But
terrible policy.
it is a terrible policy, but I also think companies, organizations everywhere, they're really having a difficult time navigating around these COVID
Yeah.
hiccups. And you have a good outcome, but imagine how many people didn't, weren't quick-witted like that and whatnot. But before that, so what was the weather like?
Beautiful.
So it was sunny.
Yeah, it was
See-
it was 73, a little
was
breeze.
Valentine's Day,
It was
right?
Yeah, it was
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
See,
That was the
I-
warmest day of the week.
It
I
was.
can't do Harry Potter in those temperatures.
I
I will
yeah.
not watch any Harry Potter films if it's beautiful and 100 degrees outside. I can
You like
only
the
watch
cold.
Harry Potter when it's cold and it's dark and it's grim. So I'm
see
like,
that.
man, I'm not trying to go to Universal Studios
Yeah, I
and
feel that,
not
I feel that.
and feel sunshine in my face. When have you ever seen a Harry Potter movie with sunshine in your face?
You're right.
Yeah.
But also, it's
They should have
Southern
built
California.
that shit in
But also, yeah,
always
but
hot
also
as
it's never
fuck.
gonna get hot. Yeah, it's never gonna get cold here. So it's terrible.
It's like that meme that has been going around about when Californians say that they're going to
Oh,
the
yeah.
snow.
They're going where?
to the snow.
The
Oh, God.
snow.
When it's like, you fucking idiots. Like, y'all gotta go to the snow.
Right.
People are living in it.
I think the one thing that though, I guess I'm so pissed about it still though, low key. When I went back to the third party, they even asked me. They go, "Did you have to rebook all your accommodations?" And I acted like I was traveling far. I go, "Yeah, we rebooked everything: the flight,
the hotel.
yeah." And because I thought that would help,
The
and no,
rental
they
car.
still declined it. I sent them a really terrible review, and I did
Yeah.
the survey, and I will never buy tickets from them again. Even
Here's
though
the thing, though. A lot
they
of
have the
times,
tickets.
those people that you're dealing with, they may have no control or authority over
Yes,
things
but they
like
escalated
that.
it, and then they got still got
that
denied.
part. Yeah,
and
your
I
part.
feel like he didn't even write down the issue enough. I was like, "You don't understand." And he's like, "Ma'am," I'm like, "Fuck, I'm
It's
gonna lose
just-
this battle."
It could be so easy as just change the fucking date. I'm sorry.
And
but
that's what I
just
was
change the
so
date.
upset about. And he was like, "We don't change that. And I wanted to be like, you already have my money. Okay,
Yeah.
anyways. I don't,
Yeah.
dude, it was a
I'm
great day.
pissed now.
I know. But I win.
coming back, it's coming back.
Listen, I only paid $72 and,
Yeah.
and it was a
It
great
worked
fucking
out.
day.
It worked out. It worked out. It was a
Can't
beautiful
be mad, can't be
Valentine's
mad.
Day.
It was. She had a great day, and we still somehow spent a shit ton of money. Birth control.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's get to the thick of things, right? Wait, what did you guys have to eat there?
Were you impressed by any food there?
No.
No?
Not at all.
It's not like that.
In Harry Potter World, we had Well, Charlie got chicken tenders all day, so there's that. But I
She
got
said chicken
I
tenders
got
all
like
day.
actually the food in Harry Potter World was pretty good.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got butter beer, but
Yeah.
I got like a
Butterbeer?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a whole other topic.
Okay.
It's delicious. Chris had like 4 of them. I got a half chicken with potatoes and carrots. It was like hearty.
Yeah.
And then Chris got something called bangers and mash. It was like a sausage with like cabbage.
Bangers and mash.
It's an Irish dish.
Yeah. Irish. Okay, yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
banging?
I think it was called bangers. Oh my god, maybe I'm wrong. Something was
Some
banging. I don't know.
concoction.
And then later on in the day, we went to like one of the Simpsons places where it was like burgers and fries, like super easy.
Okay.
We didn't go there for the food, that's for sure.
Right, because then like I think that's been such a thing, and I don't necessarily see that it pertains to Universal, but very much so at Disneyland, where like food is the thing. Like you go
the
to
food is so good.
experience the food
To Disneyland?
at Disneyland.
Oh yeah,
All
Disneyland
the
has
corn dogs in my
amazing
mouth.
food.
It's a whole experience.
How the heck? I would explain this to me.
People actually pay to specifically go to their food. I don't know
that's
what they're
me.
called, but their food.
Food
they
and
have
wine
a
festival.
thank you,
Oh.
partly.
I
Yeah,
know,
had
but
one
it's
for
just
Chinese for
Disneyland
Lily.
food?
Yes.
It's so good.
Rickie, let me tell you
It's
this. I go to Disneyland all the time. I've never, ever, ever had a bad meal at Disneyland.
It's
Yeah.
a fucking hamburger.
No.
No.
Where
No.
are you guys eating?
It's
It's the
gourmet
new
level
Disney.
shit. It's gourmet level.
I
Sorry,
don't
girl,
know
we
about
gotta,
that.
we gotta
It's
take
gonna
you.
be okay.
We gotta take you.
Have any of you guys been to the Epcot Center?
Yes.
All right. I mean, that's a different experience, right? Because you have all the different countries being represented in their cuisine. I
Right.
hate the word cuisine. So I imagine that would be a delectable experience
And
with
it was.
a Disney thing.
It was amazing.
But fucking Disney here in Anaheim
Yeah,
is
they-
not
Yes.
giving
they're
me
doing it.
Epcot food.
No, it's not giving you Epcot food, but it's giving you gourmet level restaurant style
I
food. Like, it is-
100% disagree with that bullshit.
When was the
Have you
last time you were at Disneyland? When was the last time you were there?
That's a really good question.
Okay, then you have no room to talk.
I would say like definitely within the last 3 years I've been to Disneyland. Before COVID.
Did you eat?
I had like
Yeah,
a
they're-
fucking $15 pickle.
Oh God,
That's your fault.
Girl.
You need to get
And then
more.
you
We're
have
talking
the-
about sitting down at like the
And a
Plaza
beignet.
Inn.
Yes.
The Plaza Inn has the best fried chicken I've ever had in my
That's my
life.
shit. That's my shit.
their beignets.
The beignets
All-
are
all-
good, but all
all
that
their
shit's
desserts.
The
standard.
pineapple Dole Whip.
They
Oh.
their bread bowls there too. Are
Oh, so
fucking
you wouldn't have a
delicious.
Domino's bread
Speaking
bowl.
of bread bowls, yeah, I was like, let's talk about that.
The bread bowls at Disneyland. And back to Universal, the fucking donuts in the Simpsons world are amazing too.
Oh my god, they're as big as your face.
They're so good.
No,
It's
yeah, I really need a donut in my life right now.
I really just want to go to. I haven't been to an amusement park in a while, but
Well, you probably shouldn't know.
Well, you should drag Rickie to Disneyland so she could actually eat something.
yeah, you're gonna have to experience.
I
the
just would
Disney
never
food.
I would never describe Disney as being like the go-to for
like the.
you know.
It's a food experience.
Oh,
It is.
by the
It
way,
100% is.
they're reopening the trams, so you don't have to walk very far at Disneyland, starting on the 23rd.
They
So.
closed the
I wanna
monorail.
go.
So sad.
Well, that's that.
so Noel, you make a bread bowl?
I've never made a bread bowl. I've made homemade bread before
Oh god.
in my Dutch oven. It was really good. It kind of came out kind of small, but
What is a Dutch oven exactly? It's
is-
just an oven on the floor?
No.
it's like it's cast
like a
iron, I think
yeah.
technically. And
It's
you
like a big pot.
yeah, it's a big pot made out of cast iron though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
It's dope. But it's not enamel. Is enamel the right word? It's coated differently than like normal cast iron.
Yeah,
right?
my grandma's
Yeah,
had
yeah.
the same Dutch oven for like
Oh,
60
they last
years.
for long. Yeah. I love my Dutch oven.
What do
Oh,
you like? You could cook anything in there.
I cook pot roast. I've cooked.
Wait, so it's like a big
soups.
crock pot but Dutch?
I'm trying to picture it. Maybe
You don't plug
I
it
guess we should
in.
just Google it.
But so it's a part of your oven.
You don't have a Dutch oven?
I don't know.
I
Shame
think
on
I had a
you.
Dutch oven like when I was in an old ass house a long time
You gotta
ago.
Google it.
Oh, oh, yeah. I know.
Do you
what you're
have
talking
one?
about. My mom has one. My mom actually wanted to give me one, and I was like, no, I don't need this.
She's like, what do you think I cook?
Yeah. Clearly, that's not my specialty at home or something
So-
that I'm thriving on.
Speaking of Dutch ovens, or not Dutch ovens, but my curiosity is this. I'm assuming that you're this person who loves to cook and is all, ingredients and hours baking a pie and stuff like that. Where did you see that and say, oh, I want to do that. I want to explore that. I'm interested in this. Do you remember your first point of reference when you had an interest in cooking? I'm still Googling a Dutch oven, by the way.
Actually, a little bit, yeah.
Oh.
So in college, I was an RA in college, and I had my own like house or little apartment or whatever,
Wait, what's an RA?
a resident advisor.
Oh.
I was the one that was like, "Don't drink, don't smoke weed on campus." Anyways, and I did all of it.
So you were the person that nobody listened to.
That's correct, and I got fired for it because they caught me with a bottle of vodka. Anyways, okay, that's a whole other story. Anyways, I was an RA, and when I was a good RA, I lived alone and whatever, and I had there was a friend of mine. Shout out to Eric. I haven't talked to him in a minute, and I should reach out to him. Eric, I remember he came over and was like, "I want to make you guys shepherd pie," like me and my group of friends.
Ooh,
Yeah, and I
okay.
was like, "What the fuck, shepherd pie?" I'm like 22, whatever. I'm like, "What the fuck, shepherd pie?" Comes in, he like used my little apartment. He like brings all the stuff, and he like makes this like little shepherd pie. And I'm like, "This is dope." And I like saw what he did. I was like, "It's not that hard either." And it was like a good like solid home cooked, warm meal. Like, again, you're away in college. You're like, I need this in my life.
Yeah.
And I honestly, it sounds so weird. And he probably doesn't even realize how he's a part of my journey. He has
Right.
no idea. And now that you're asking me, I'm like, wow, how relevant it was in college. He was. And I was like, I want to cook like homemade warm meals for people. I was like, I like that. I want to.
So it left an impression on you.
It did. It definitely left me an impression for sure. And I think that's kind of where I was like, I could do that.
Yeah.
I can make meals like this.
Okay, but so how did his meal make you feel?
Warm. Like it was home cooked. It was like heartwarming. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was like I wasn't away in college. Like I wasn't missing my family and like, how dramatic that sounds. But I don't know. It was just
It's
like.
not that it sounds dramatic,
It was at
how is
ease.
it-
It was at ease. I
right.
was like.
But how is it possible to translate that eating a meal could make you feel nostalgic and warm and connected to your family? How's that even possible?
When you're away from
Because-
the family.
Right, when you're away from the family. If you look at, in my intro about you, like I mentioned how I was in, a low part, but your meal like lit something back up in me. So maybe it's not
I don't know. You tell
necessarily-
me.
Okay, you're right. Yeah.
Tell me about those
So,
carrots you
okay,
had.
I got it. So maybe it's not so much the meal itself,
I think it's the love that was
but
put into
rather
it.
Eric, right? Eric came over to your house.
Right.
He brought all his stuff,
Yes.
his ingredients, all that. And he was like, let's go. I'm going to do this for you right now.
Like I got this, Noel. Like just sit down. You let me into your
And
kitchen.
it made everything taste better, right? You saw the intention.
Yeah.
I'm with
I
that.
can feel that. And I feel that way when I cook, I think, too. And I definitely get that feedback from people as well, which is nice because that
So
makes me
it-
want to cook more.
It fills your own soul.
Correct.
I mean, seeing you cook and then all of your meals on your Instagram blog and so on, I'm always inspired. I'm like, ooh, I can make this, and because you put your little reels and you kind of go quickly step by step about how you're going about what you're making, and I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm gonna make this. I think you had like a crumble pie or a crumble
Oh,
thing.
yeah. The cobbler.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had-
Cobbler.
She messaged me about it, too.
Yeah, I had all of the ingredients. I think I was missing one thing, and I was like, I could fucking make this. I didn't end up making it, but
Shame on you.
It's still in the works. But
I was hoping you said that you did make it and it failed. Because that would have made me. It would have been hilarious.
No, I didn't.
It's
end up
funny.
making
Like
it.
I don't. There's not a lot of content on there, like by all means, because I like living in the moment and cooking on the spot, and so like I don't like sharing what I've made in the past or sharing what I made yesterday for dinner. I'm like, this is what I'm making right now. Everyone look.
Yeah.
That's why I like the stories a lot, and I save those stories. I don't know who the fuck looks at it. I probably don't even have that many followers.
I look at them.
But honestly, it doesn't matter because I do it because I like cooking and I like sharing. And you know what? If you want to follow it, you can follow it. If not, I don't care.
Yeah.
The thing about watching your stories is it makes me want to cook. And it makes me want to have my own kitchen again. And that's what, so it's kind of like a love-hate thing where I love watching what you're doing, but then I hate it because it's like, well, okay, you don't have your kitchen yet. Or you don't, it reminds me of those things. But it's because it is an act of love. It's an intention. It's a very like, I don't care to cook, like the day-to-day cooking, I don't care for it. It's like, all right, we got to eat, here we go. What does inspire me when it comes to cooking is when I want to try something new. I can read an article or watch a story and be like, oh, that looks really good. Like, I want to try that. And I think I can do it too. That's when I like to cook. That's when I like to experiment. And that's when I'll buy all the ingredients and like mess with it and try to, when I'm curious about food like that. But again, it's like a love-hate relationship with food because I got kids, I gotta cook. Like, oh, you gotta eat, and it's a chore
Yeah.
versus
Enjoying it.
a time that
I
you
feel
get to, love. But you cook every day,
Yes, I do.
and you, even though I don't feel that
I don't get bored of
cooking it right. I don't feel like you're ever gonna say like I'm saying like, oh, I have to this chore. I gotta do this every day.
It's very rare when I feel that way. Very rare.
Is it
And-
therapeutic for you?
Yes. And most of the time when I'm like, ugh, cooking, it's because like we didn't go grocery shopping, and I'm like, well, that's on me. And
How often do you go grocery shopping?
probably about every week and a half.
Okay.
And I normally go, like Saturday or Sunday or whatever, and I buy for the week. And I normally only buy those meals for that week, for the most part. And then we plan by, if we're busy on Fridays,
Right.
we leftovers, whatever. I mean, we both have lunches, like what.
Yeah. So that's one aspect, right? Is this whole chore of, well, what could potentially be a chore for Rickie and I is the cooking. But what about after is the enjoyment, right? So what does that look like for you, for the both of you, right? Is, okay, there's a meal, and now are you guys sitting alone, or is the TV on? What's the mood? How are you guys having dinner?
Well, lately with COVID dinners, they've been on the coffee table because my whole desktop and everything's on, the dining room table. So it's kind of sad. I do wish we used to sit on the dining room table a lot and eat dinner, and I really enjoyed that time.
Yeah.
But we lost that with COVID, unfortunately. But now we're on the coffee table watching Game of Thrones or whatever it may be.
I love Game
but
of
we
Thrones.
still, but we're right there, pouring each other's drinks and enjoying the meal together. And most of the time, I take a bite and I'm eating, and I'm like halfway through my meal, whatever, and Chris is eating too, and he kind of looks at me and he's like, so how do you like it? And he asks, it's funny, he normally asks me, and he's like, well, what do you think? And I'm like, well, what do you think? Like, because I'm like waiting
But
for
he
his
asks
approval.
you what you think
And-
about your own meal.
Yeah, because he knows I will criticize it for sure, and sometimes I'm like, oh, the sauce didn't come out right, it's too thick, but then I'll criticize it, and he's like, no, I think it's okay. I think he wants to be the backup support, like, nah, it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
But he'll never lie to me. He definitely has made changes to my meals, or he has his opinions, but I would say probably 90% of the time he likes everything I make.
And actually, to rewind to the lasagna without ricotta that you made for Natalie's wedding, that's a staple for me. I don't care for any other lasagna than the lasagna that you make. It's the best lasagna I've ever had in my life.
Facts.
Stop it.
And no,
Facts.
I'm dead serious. Thank you, Bartley. And you said that it's ricotta-less because of Chris.
Yeah, he doesn't like ricotta, so you got to mix sour cream and cottage cheese.
It was
I'm with it
thebomb.com.
because
And
I
it
don't
actually-
like
It
avocado
actually
either.
makes it lighter too. I mean, it's not. You can still get low fat. It doesn't even matter. But
I judge every lasagna I ever have from this
Based
point
on
on based on
Noel's?
Noel's.
I made it just recently actually, and Chris didn't
we
like
saw
it.
that.
He didn't like that. There was too much noodle for him, and I was like, no. I go, this is actually one of my favorite because it actually held really nicely. So you could actually cut it, and you were like, there's like the lasagna. And he thought it had too many noodles. But also, I will blame it on the dish I have. It's kind of low, so you can't even like stack it and add the extra meat and stuff. So,
Send me that recipe. You probably have it on your.
of course I do.
gonna
No,
get- no?
I don't share that one, but I can share with you.
Fine. Sure, yeah, share it.
Damn.
Sure. Mike's been wanting a lasagna. He's
But
always saying, "Can we make
actually,
lasagna?"
side note, I got a KitchenAid for Christmas,
Ooh.
We saw that.
and someone bought me the noodle piece for it. So the lasagna,
Fresh
the
noodles.
lasagna is about to be fucking elevated.
And you know what I do want to say? Your kitchen is small.
It's fucking tiny. If anyone saw that post recently about what you're grateful for during Thanksgiving, look at my small
I
fucking
did.
kitchen because I make the most bomb meals from that little kitchen.
That's another inspiring thing.
It's incredible.
It is incredible because you like
humbling.
It is humbling. You make a small workable space
Yes.
like a magician. You're in there just like la 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 la. It's very humbling. That's the word.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how but then it does make me think. So do you fantasize about having a kitchen?
Yeah.
So what does your fantasy kitchen look like?
One big island. I would love to have an island.
The island of truth.
The island. I would love to have an island. Yeah, no, I just need more space, honestly, because I do feel like I do things, and then while that part's simmering or whatever, then I'm doing dishes to like make sure I'm cleaning room, and it's tough because then like the dishes pile up, and I don't have the big farm sink, and it's all it's like I'm in a little apartment in Garden Grove, like
Yeah.
it's tough.
It is tough.
Working with what you got.
So yeah, I don't need a big kitchen, but you know what? It'd be nice to have like a little bit more square footage in there, a little bit more counter space.
Well, you do a great job.
I
You really
thank
do.
you.
Like
I
it's
appreciate that.
inspiring. Very
I'm grateful
much.
to appreciate myself because it's hard. People don't do that enough.
Why should they?
You know what? It leads back to that progress for perfection episode that you guys did. You have to appreciate the little things that you're doing. It's not ever going to be perfect, but you're doing the best you can.
I would say, and I just recently had this conversation with Natalie about my mom, and I was telling her how my mom wakes up every morning early. She makes herself breakfast. She packs her lunch. If it's not already packed from the wonderful meal that she made the night before, right? Fresh lunch. And she makes this time for herself to eat. And she carefully curates what's going in her body. You know, I need apples, I need oats, I need this, all this. So I would say that preparing food for yourself, cooking for yourself is an act of self-love.
Absolutely.
It's an act of self-acknowledgement. You know that your body needs good things inside of it to thrive and survive. So, and I told Natalie, because I wake up every morning. It's like, run, we're already late, and I'm not taking the time to really talk to my body and see what my body needs, procure what my body needs
Or wants.
Sometimes I know what my body wants.
Well, I know, but that's important too. Sometimes, but are you even making time for that either? You know what I mean?
Like for the wants?
Yeah, because
No, that's the problem.
But that's what I'm saying. You're not doing either the things that you need and want.
Right now, the majority is what I want versus what I need. And what I want is comfort food. What I want is anything that's going to make me, feel okay and want to go to sleep.
And I'm that's not because of the lack of just the time.
No, it's time. No, I don't want to say it's the lack of time, because I do believe, like, if you want to change something in your life, like, you will make that time for it. I can make the time for it.
Right.
It's more so just, I don't know. I mean, I do know, but I don't know.
Okay, well then share it.
It's the lack of discipline. Yeah. It's the lack of really wanting to self-love myself.
It's hard.
The lack of wanting to. I mean, I remember one day I went through Noel's schedule, like what she does from the moment she wakes up to the moment she goes to sleep. Yeah.
What do I do?
How sometimes you go to when you go to the gym and you have to hurry back and make dinner and da-da-da. And I'm like, oh my God. Like that's exhausting thinking about her schedule. But it's also that exhausting schedule that, in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, is that's also what keeps you in a good state.
I would say it's more, it's all priority, right? Because if we do look at your schedule, it's you go to the gym, and this is just what I know from your Instagram,
IG.
right?
The IG.
You go to the gym, you have your work day, you make dinner, you take your dog out, and then that's more or less your day to day, right? And the cooking the dinner is the important part. She doesn't have to. You don't have to go to the gym. We don't really have to do anything. We don't have to go to the gym. We don't have to make food for ourselves. We don't have to sit together around the dining room table to share this meal. But she definitely, that's like a priority. That's the important thing.
It's funny. Sometimes I think make myself feel guilty for that
For what?
discipline that I have. Like there was, I think it was just like this past Monday or Tuesday, or maybe it was last week. I don't remember. I went to work. I went in. I did the 5 o'clock class for the gym. Was done by 6. Home by like 6:20, 6:30. No, I went to the 6 o'clock class. Got home by 7:30. Came in, didn't shower, didn't anything. Gave my husband a kiss and was like, "Let me start dinner." I'm cooking dinner, and it's like 8:10. I was like, I'm so sorry. I told him, I'm sorry, dinner's so late. He's like, it's okay. And he was like so calm, and I was like, okay. And I didn't feel I wasn't rushing to get it done, but I was just apologizing for it taking long because I also know it's like it's 8 o'clock now. We want to just be sitting and relaxing and like talking and catching up, and like I'm in the kitchen.
Hold on. So, are you the only one that does the cooking?
No, Chris cooks too. But when I have a game plan, like I'm cooking, like he's not going to cook the recipes I have planned already.
Right.
So like when we can't go back from it, I'm the one cooking. He's the best helper. He's literally like the best sous chef.
Because in my mind, I'm thinking like, if I'm him and I'm like, damn, she's taking a late class tonight. You know what? I'm gonna cook
Get
something.
started.
I'm
Or
gonna
get
do
started
or
or
get started.
something.
I'm gonna do something for her so that she doesn't have to rush back and do all of these things. But I didn't think about the fact that him maybe doing that ends up getting more in the way because
Yeah.
you already have something very specific that
Yeah.
you're trying to execute.
And I think him and I are pretty aware of that because if I do need him, he's like, I'm right here. And I'm like, Chris. And then I'm like, pour this right here, do this right there. And he's like, am I good? And I'm like, yeah, go. And then like he does. He helps me a lot without well, he does realize it. But I think I don't realize sometimes how much I'm asking for when I'm like, wait, I need you.
Yeah.
But when he cooks, it's the best. I like when he cooks. He's very methodical when he cooks. And he's very precise to the recipe. And he has all the ingredients out and measured before he even starts cooking.
That's
So is that
good.
the opposite of you? You just go?
Yeah, I just start going. Oh, yeah. You've seen me live in the kitchen.
We have. We've seen you live in the kitchen when you didn't have ingredients.
Oh, it's a
And,
terrible,
and
terrible
you magically came up with an alternative. What was missing?
chicken bouillon.
Yeah.
And you made, I don't know what you used instead of.
There was like 12 spices in it. It was incredible.
What did we eat that night?
Tacos.
We did go over to
Potato
Noel's.
Potato tacos,
We had-
homemade rice and beans.
And the guacamole. Wasn't
had
there
predicted
guacamole
it.
involved?
And there was homemade salsa.
Wait, there was no
so good.
guacamole?
Ray, are you hungry now?
I didn't get that invite. Didn't get that invite.
No, it was good. It was
It
good
is
shit.
Very good. Sorry.
I put salsa on the beans. It was pico de gallo.
Oh, I did make that. I had all three. I don't
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
around.
she had two different. Yeah.
She was bomb.
We
That
just
was
need
bomb.
you here all the time. You need to live closer to us. Just have you together.
It's
But
dangerous.
I think there's a lot to say about sharing a meal and then sharing it, of course, with the people that live at your house, but also with others, because that's when you kind of get comfortable, start having real conversations. We get all real, like, the food starts tasting good, the conversation starts getting real nice, the wine, the alcohol.
Chris, my husband recently just said, he says, we have the most conversation ever in the kitchen, always. Because you are always in the kitchen, Noel. And he didn't say that as like a stab or a bad thing, like a good thing. Because when not most of the time, sometimes when I'm cooking, he'll come sit at the table and watch me, and he'll bring in the laptop up to him and do whatever he's doing, and be a part of that kitchen experience, even if he's not helping. You know what I mean? I would say about 75% of our conversation happens when I'm in the kitchen, and it's and it's like whether it's catch up, planning, arguing, whatever it may be. Like it happens in the kitchen. It's kind of an interesting thing in our household. Obviously, there's only two of us, so I can't imagine throwing kids and other people in it. But it's incredible. I love the kitchen.
I like that you like the kitchen.
It's a weird feeling because after I'm done in the kitchen, I'm like, whew. And then I'm like, what's tomorrow? What's for dinner tomorrow?
Yeah, it's all over again.
I'm like,
It's an
we gotta
entire
take the meat out. We gotta do
process.
this. Okay, here we go.
What's your favorite meal that you cook for yourself?
For myself, or just a meal? I mean, ooh, that's tough.
She's like everything.
Yeah. I really, really, really like comfort food. Like I like heavy food. Such as like I love chicken pot pie. Homemade
Wait,
pie crust.
you make a chicken
double.
pot pie.
You know I do. Michael Moda, when are
Yeah.
you coming over to my house?
He needs it. He needs it.
But I like heavy foods like that. I make really good meatloaf. I mean, I think I do. I know Chris's mom will never hear this. Maybe she will, but Chris did tell me one time my meatloaf was better than his mom's. And you know what? That just means the world.
You've been affirmed.
Small victories.
It really is. And you know what? His mom makes some really fucking good meals that I'll never be able to match. But,
Like what?
she makes this really good fried chicken with this like honey. It's probably super easy, but it's like I'll never be able to do it. Like it's her meal.
Is
I
it
can't-
better than the fried chicken at Disneyland?
Shut the fuck up. Really?
I had to throw that in.
So yeah, no, I like a lot of home cooked meals. Like, I mean, I like to call them poor man meals because they're like normally you have all the shit in your cabinet. Yeah, no, that's good. Yum.
What was your favorite meal growing up in your household?
Ooh.
And Natalie, I'll ask you the same thing.
yeah.
What was
And
your?
yours, Rickie.
I have mine. I'll tell you mine while you guys think about what your favorite meal was. I told my mom if this is my last meal request, this is what I would take from her. she makes these ground beef tacos. My mom's taco game is strong.
You said ground beef.
Ground beef, right? Ground beef with potatoes in it, lettuce, tomato, and then she always makes this green salsa with it. It's fire. But the way that she mixes the potato, because the potatoes aren't hard. It's almost kind of like a mashy, hard potato with the, it blends with the meat. It's really weird how I've never had a ground beef taco.
Well, it's funny that you're saying that because my meal is very similar. It's picadillo.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah.
it's the same idea as I'm
Wait,
ground.
so that was your favorite meal growing up, picadillo?
And it still is. Like, oh, Mom.
Picadillo. Okay, so
Yeah,
is it
and that's
just
a
the
poor man's meal.
picadillo? Or it is. And was there rice involved? Was there beans involved? What was it?
Normally she would make rice and I think beans. I can't recollect well, but I know she would make rice with it. I have her rice recipe, so that's how I know she does it. But
And for the record, this is a kind of a Mexican dish that is your favorite, and your mom is Japanese and
Yes.
Polish.
yes. So, I mean, she just got thrown in there and she makes some bomb Mexican food. She makes some really good pozole. Like, oh my God. Her
Wait, what color pozole?
green. She makes, yeah.
Hey.
Stephanie makes green. I need
Stephanie
to
makes it too?
get, yeah, it's good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Christmas.
Never tried it.
All right, Natalie.
Mine.
Meat and potatoes. Literally.
Mine would be, and this is just my favorite food in general, is my mom's enchiladas. Oh man,
Red or green?
red, red for sure, all day long.
Whoever likes green.
It's the red enchilada.
I
just
fuck
the-
with the green enchiladas.
Yeah, those are
Really?
The
good
green
too. Those are
chicken
good too,
enchiladas?
but the red ones have my heart.
I won't
for
have
sure.
red enchiladas with chicken. I'll only have green enchiladas with chicken and then red with just cheese and onion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I will
I
not.
would
Don't
probably
ask.
too.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Then what about tamales? Like, are you going? Because I like cheese. Like, I like just the cheese, like with the chicken. That's it.
So
But
you're,
see, I also don't like tamales, so it's like, oh,
I like tamales, and it's a seasonal thing for me because it's only during Christmas. I like green chicken tamales.
yeah, great.
That's my favorite.
Green,
Yeah,
green.
I'm with you, Noel. Like tamales are definitely. Thank God they're seasonal, and I'm never looking forward to tamales.
Oh,
Like,
no,
tamales
never.
great. Okay, well, fine.
Same.
Yeah.
I do
That's
love
a toughie.
tamales, but seasonal only.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Let me just pose a question. Then what about your favorite dessert? Because you know I like to bake too. I don't
Huh.
just cook.
No,
I bake.
no. Yeah, we had your pumpkin pie with fresh whipped cream that you whipped up that day. Favorite desserts? Damn.
For
you know
me,
what?
It's definitely apple pie.
Anybody's apple pie?
I make bomb apple pie.
I mean, if it's home cooked then or homemade, fuck yeah. If
Do you
it's-
do it with ice cream?
No.
So you're just good with
Yeah, just by itself.
just
You
apple
put
And that-
pie.
cheese,
and
you
I
put
think
cheese
that-
on it?
And you know what? I maybe
Cheese.
when I was younger, I would have done an ice cream, but now that I'm older, my taste buds have changed, and I don't like too many sweets.
Less is more.
Yeah, so I'm good with like I'm just have this apple pie.
Cheese.
But what about this cheese?
Cheese. It's a Texas thing. It comes from the South. They put cheese on their apple pie. I heard it's
So like
amazing.
how though?
Like American
kind?
cheese. Like
Ew.
like
Wait,
when
the
they,
yellow cheese?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they put American cheese. So Google it. Let me know. So they put it. They like after the pie's done, they slice it and they warm it up in the microwave or whatever.
In
when
the
they,
Dutch
and
oven?
I'm
kidding.
And then they put the cheese on it, and that's how they eat it.
The little yellow square
Yeah,
of cheese.
I'm pretty sure it's
on
a,
apple pie, right?
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure it's a
there's some
southern
cheese
thing.
on it.
I mean, you know
Apple
what? That sounds good. I would fuck with that. I would definitely. But I don't know. Is
It's
that
it's just an interesting combo for sure.
so interesting combo for some reason, and I don't know how this even happened. Abu Conchita, my grandmother, she used to get us a piece of bread, and then she would put, I don't know if it was the syrup first and then shredded yellow cheese on top, or the bread, shredded yellow cheese, and then the syrup on top.
Syrup, like sugary syrup.
Like pancake syrup.
I don't remember getting this from her.
Oh, no, it was before your time. It was
For
like
those
Aunt
that
Martha
don't know,
at nighttime.
I'm her cousin.
Oh, yeah, Noel.
I don't think we introduced that.
No, we
No one knows
didn't.
who I am.
No, Noel is my cousin. Noel is a mota. Noel is a mota.
Well, kind of.
But that was a weird thing that my grandmother would give. And I don't know, because the whole apple pie and the
We
cheese
should
thing.
ask her about that.
I want to ask her about that. Like, where the hell did you...
Because that means someone made it for her, and I want to know who it was. You know what I mean? I want to
And
know that.
why?
Yeah, I want to know.
But then I also remember, like, when we didn't, like, drinking, like, chocolate... drinking chocolate milk was a commodity, right? Like, that was a luxury when you were
Yeah.
little. Oh, I got chocolate milk.
Yeah.
When we didn't have chocolate milk, I remember my grandmother would just put milk and vanilla and sugar. Like, here's what you...
Ooh.
Here's
too,
what you
though.
have. Like this is what it is. Nobody got no
Count your
chocomil.
blessings.
This is it.
Fucking
But
dead.
you know, poor man's meal. Like you do. One of my favorite meals is chilaquiles. Like I love making
hate
chilaquiles. What?
Chilaquiles. Ugh. You know why? I think I've had so many bad ones from like shitty restaurants.
Who?
You know what I
That's
mean?
just- that's
Like it's
awful.
different. Okay, it's different. Like if like a grandma, your mom, like it's different. If it's made within the family, it's totally different. But if you're going to
Yeah.
some shitty restaurant, some white restaurant, it just doesn't.
Yeah,
ruins it for
that's
me.
always like that.
Stephanie loves them. She said she makes them. Apparently,
So
Those are like a staple at my house. Like
that's funny. I don't
we
even think
make
Chris
those
likes them.
weekly.
no, my Aunt Rosie's husband, Jaime, he makes some really good. I think he was the first. No, that's forward. My first time in Zacatecas, I had in a little hotel chilaquiles, and I was like, "Oh, these are good." But I was like 20. Then I had them again when Jaime made them. He made his own green salsa.
Oh, see, it's different.
Oh, they
then.
were
Yeah.
outstanding. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, these are really good. And then fast forward, like maybe 6 years ago, Tia Leti, she used to take care of my kids. When I would go and pick them up, she would always like, do you want something to eat? And she would always have chilaquiles. Or not always, but that was always an option. She would have chilaquiles. I'm like, how do you make these? She's like, oh, easy.
Yeah.
Salsa al pato. What? El pato?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I
She's
know.
like, oh, mija, real quick. Da, 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 da. Fry up, cut up the tortillas, fry them up.
Doesn't get better than that.
Salsa al pato, put some cheese
I'm
on
gonna
it.
make some soon.
And ever since then, that's actually, I mean, talk about poor man, lazy man, but that's how I make the chilaquiles. And that's a comfort food for me. Like, that's how.
That's actually something we offer. Like Rickie and I offer that to each other a
Yes.
lot of the times when we
well,
when
it's
we're over
chilaquiles.
at each
it's,
other's
well, because
place.
it's in your pantry. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
Which
really
is
easy.
interesting, too,
Yeah.
because I'll prepare them better for Natalie than I do for myself.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, so like I make like this little thing with queso fresco. So it's queso fresco, cilantro, and onion. The cilantro and the onion have to be chopped up very finely. Please don't give me no chunky onions or chunky cilantro. I'm not trying to have leafy cilantro up in my teeth. I have gaps in my teeth. So everything has to be finely chopped. So when Natalie comes over, I'll make her the chilaquiles, sprinkle that concoction, and then fresh avocado. Ooh, I don't even do that for myself.
Rickie, what are those quesadillas you make for me?
For Bartley, yes. For Bartley, it's so funny. He used to, again, Bartley would help Natalie and I when we were learning how to do podcasts, and he would come and do the live streams, and I would pay him by feeding him, and I would make him sincronizadas. Sincronizadas were, yes, it's a quesadilla. You got your cheese, fried ham,
Bomb.
Oh yeah.
fresh so but after you fry the cheese in the like, so that's on the comal. Ham, cheese, you're frying it up. Then once it's all melted together, you open it back up, fresh tomato, fresh onion, and if I had avocado, I would throw it in there. So you have the pros and cons of hot and cold and texture that is like clap.
It is delicious.
Bartley, I haven't made you those in a while.
It's been a while.
Me.
You know
Okay,
what?
I'm next.
So for the record, we were here last night, and I was telling Ray, I was like, you know what? I think we should cook for Noel. And I didn't get a chance to actually send Natalie the message. Natalie makes an incredible guacamole. That's like my favorite thing. So I was like, damn, Noel's coming. Maybe we'll make her some guacamole. And I told Ray, we'll take her to go get some tacos. We have a favorite taco spot, La
So you weren't
Tamasuleña.
even gonna
Oh,
cook.
yeah.
hell no.
We're like, we're gonna take her out.
Hell no, because these
We're gonna
are
make
like,
this work right
you
now.
don't understand.
You
This
know
is
who we are, Noel. Damn it.
I wanted you to like, hey, these are our favorite things, right?
Pump me up with some margaritas. She'll be good.
Who's the one who came through? Gladys Mora made you a very humble bean burrito.
Oh my God, God bless her.
A bean burrito.
That's the best.
I love bean burritos.
It's an act of love.
Hopefully that picked it up.
I heard it. Beans and rice. You just can't go. I mean, just anything. Just Mexican food in general. Just it's so easy and
I
what's
gotta
the
be
word?
in the mood
Versatile.
though. I definitely gotta be in the mood for it though, because I don't always want. I mean, because I don't cook that often. It's
Yeah.
very rare.
Yeah.
I mean, I do potato tacos. I've done enchiladas. Well, I guess I do cook a lot. Never mind. Just kidding.
Just when you think you don't, then you like,
Right.
oh fuck, I kind of do.
I do know my next meal though. I think for you guys is curry rice.
Okay, come next week.
I mean,
I don't know about that because Curry is very rich for me.
You know,
it's
you have
very
not,
rich.
You have not
it's
had my
very,
curry
very
rice.
rich.
And it's my mom's recipe, which is on a recipe. It's like the fucking like boxed recipe, but it doesn't matter because it's bomb.
Okay, come see me.
I'm in, Noel.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
same.
I don't know, or potentially chicken pot pie. I don't know. There's
No. Forget the
Listen,
curry
it's,
and let's
listen.
just get
It's
to the pot
endless.
pie.
It's endless.
No.
I can cook so much.
Rickie.
You want curry over chicken pot pie? What is wrong with you right now?
Yeah, you're right. I love
want
chicken pot pie.
I want all the things Noel makes. Okay,
know.
one at a
Yeah.
time.
I want all
My
of them.
husband really should be fatter.
Well, so let's talk about that because hearing how you eat, seeing how you eat, you're not 400 pounds. So what is the trick?
I'm a nice 123.
Right. How are you not 400 pounds?
I mean, I work out.
Yeah.
But a lot of people say that
you know
it's
what?
not even the workout, it's what you eat.
Portion control, though. But like a lot of what I eat isn't that bad. I mean, okay, yeah, here we are listing all these terrible things, but like for the most part, all the dinners you don't see that I eat on a day to day is chicken, a veggie, and rice, or chicken, veggie, and a potato. So like those are the meals I don't like. Think about all the times I'm not posting. Like
That's a good
I
point.
don't. I only cook all the savory ones that we all want. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah.
So you're misleading the public?
I'm not misleading. I'm only cooking what they want to see and showing them what they want to see.
Yeah, like that.
No one wants to
crumble
see
pie.
my fucking brown rice.
I do. I want to see what you eat day to day because I want to see that's reality. I don't get this savory meal that's going to make me 400 pounds later. The reality is you cook very healthy for yourself on most days, right? And then complemented with your physical activity is why you're not 400 pounds.
Yeah, but it's also not in my genes. So I mean, I have a Japanese mother, so there's that.
Her healthy cooking is probably bomb as fuck too. Okay.
Wait,
so
are you saying that there are no
delicious.
fat Japanese people?
have you seen one?
seen
I mean,
one?
other than
Like
the sumo,
sumo wrestlers?
other than the sumo wrestlers, have you seen one? No.
And I think there's a lot to say about cooking at home versus taking that same meal and having it made for you at a restaurant.
Well, right, because
those
I've-
calories must be through the roof.
And I'm in control of it. Let's go back
Yeah.
to
That's
lasagna.
true.
There's no ricotta in it. There's sour cream and
Yeah.
cottage cheese. Like,
Yeah.
but also portion control. Like that's a whole other
Yeah.
thing too. You know what I mean?
I
You
have
don't
no
see-
portion control.
Well, you don't see me eating half the lasagna, but I want to eat half the lasagna.
Yeah, it comes down to the discipline and
And I have a lot of
Making
discipline. I'd like to think Chris will agree with that. I do have a lot of discipline.
What do you not have discipline with? Because I feel like your entire life is a discipline. Like every
That sounds so
area
bad though, because
of
I have a
your
lot of
life.
fun. You know,
What?
like that sounds bad because like
No, not bad at all. On the
I mean-
contrary, it's a very organized life that you
Ugh,
lead.
that sounds terrible. That sounds
How does
boring.
that sound
'Cause that
terrible?
sounds boring. You're making it sound boring.
No, you're calculated in
There's so
everything
much
that you do.
routine.
And
I
I'm
mean-
and I'm only saying that because consider the opposite, which is not. That's stressful.
Yeah.
So what are you not in control of?
What do you overindulge in?
ooh, that's a good question.
She's like nothing.
Nothing for this podcast.
That's a really good question.
Honestly, I don't have an answer because even when we were just hanging out earlier before recording, you know, Natalie asked me how everything was, and I was like, great. Like
Yeah.
I had literally nothing to complain about.
Life is good.
Life is so good. I'm very happy.
Good for
like,
you.
yeah, I don't have everything I want, but like I know what my goals are and I know what to do to work towards those goals. And
You're-
so like they're not here right now physically or, you know, mentally, but I'm working towards them. So like I'm good. Like I think I'm disciplined because I know I'm working towards everything I want. You know what I mean?
You have a good balance right now.
Yeah. It
Everything's
feels
in
good to
flow.
have balance. I mean, I'm working out. I have a good job. I'm paying
Yeah.
my bills. I have a family that loves me. No one's sick and dying. That sounds
Where
terrible.
did you
Sorry.
get that sense of confidence, that sense of knowing, that sense of embracing that you have your goals and you know what you got to do? Because that's outstanding. That is outstanding.
I mean, I like to think I got it from my parents, right? Like, initially, that's my first answer. is
Your
I got
point
it-
of reference.
I got it from my point of reference. I got it from mom and dad, which I think is valid. I believe both my parents are very aware and in tune with what they want and how they live. Which again, I want to, whether it be financially, relationships, whatever it may be. I like to think I'm similar in them, which I'm very much are. You can vouch for that.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I like to just think I'm a good human being just trying to live through this world. You know what I mean? It's hard. Living is hard.
Living is
I
hard.
have down days. No one sees that. No one sees your down days. No one sees your down days. It's just,
Right.
What is a down day for you?
fuck, I don't know.
I'll tell you what a down day for me is. Watching The Crown.
Oh,
Because
here
I've
we
already
go.
watched it 1,000 times.
Here we
So I'll be like,
go.
I'm just going to watch The Crown again for like 1,000 times and then just like be mad about how there's so many shows about the Queen on Netflix.
Here we go.
And it's just this vicious cycle that is, repeatedly
rant.
self-loathing.
I have a good one actually. Now that you
Yes.
got me, I mean, because media, like I've been like the last like couple months, I've been really wanting to delete everything. And
Wait,
just
delete your social medias?
yeah, because I'm just sick. I'm just over it. Honestly,
Me too.
I just started like deleting people that like I know, like I do know we were acquaintances, whether it be from college or high school or whatever it may be. But I started like just unfollowing people because I'm like,
Good for you.
you don't bring anything into my life, and I don't bring anything into yours probably except likes. And I'm like, I'm good. And so I started unfollowing people. So then that was like kind of my initial like, should I just delete it? But I was like, no, I could just unfollow people because I still like having it.
Yeah.
Like I like what social media does. I like the connection it does. I like when I see people doing something similar. I'm like, I just did that, or they went to
wanna
that
do
brewery and I was
this.
like, I just had that brewery, or wait a minute, where'd you get that? And I like that those connections, but I don't have them with everybody. I don't have it with the 700 followers I have or the
Right.
people I'm following. So I think I'm just starting to unfollow those people, which sounds really bad because those are probably good people, but let's be real. There's just
They
no
bring no
relationship. There's no
value.
relationship there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
let's be real. So I think that has been a downer because it is so hard to not compare yourselves to other people.
And the life they're
It is
leading.
so hard.
Wait, so you look at other people and you're like, oh, I wish this. were-
Absolutely.
Really?
Do you not?
No. Yeah. But I didn't think someone like you would.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think about it. I mean, there's no one I could even like tell you, oh, like this person's life. Like, there's not. But I think it's not. It's as a matter of those big influencers that have all the big things, and even people that Like, it's a little bit of both.
That kind of lifestyle, or like, oh, why don't I do that? Why don't I have that?
Yeah.
I start kind of doubting, like,
Well,
should I?
Right. But
what?
which is dumb
fuck?
because we all know it's a fallacy.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Right, right,
and I
right.
know that whatever it is that people showcase on social media is just a glimpse, like you said. People don't
Yeah.
see what
It's
you
just
eat
half the story.
every other day.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
People
half
don't
the
see
story.
the not bland, because I'm sure even your blandest meal is just an orgasm in your mouth.
She said bland.
But people
Sriracha.
don't. Yeah. Oh my God. People don't see that. I was sharing with Natalie how I was in a situation, where I was accused of having a lavish lifestyle. Oh, your
Stop
lifestyle.
it.
No. In court, you have such a lavish lifestyle. You have these look at the life you live. You're always out. You're this, you're that, da da da. And I'm thinking like, I'm so over this.
You don't
Right.
even know what I'm
I'm
going
in
through.
I'm in no control of what people's perceptions of me are. Zero control of any of that.
Was that perception made off of social media?
Yes, and only off of social media.
Isn't that incredible though?
It is incredible because, like I said, we all exercise the ability to understand that what we see on social media is a facade or a glimpse. Like you said, we all know that, and yet we still
I know, it's
are like,
incredible.
oh, I wish that this was that. I wish that this was that. I have been contemplating a lot, 100%, like just getting off of all social media.
Yeah.
And Natalie and I have had several podcasts about how much time we spend on social media, how much our businesses rely on social media, how much apps
time.
like TikTok, right? Who
Screen
have
time that you guys
leveled
have.
out, yes, screen time, TikTok, who has leveled out the playing field for influencers where it can be anybody, literally anybody. And it made me really think like, do I really want to be this connected or reliant on people?
Yeah.
Do I really is this really what needs to happen? Like, what about OG grassroots?
We
where
should do
it's
a 2-week challenge. We should log out and delete our apps from our phones, see how we do.
I'm down.
Let's do it. down
but
too.
see, okay, so and then I think about this, right? I think about this. Well, wait a minute, but Rose City Sounds Instagram, like,
No,
Yeah.
you'd have to do it personally, not
no,
not
but
work
even then,
related.
but even then, though, right? Rose City Sound, our Instagram account, I have not been consistent with it, right? I haven't maintained that because it goes back to, for me personally, it goes back to the whole, it is personal, right?
Yeah.
I'm showing people very intimate moments about what's going on here.
Right.
That's part of the grassroots thing.
And allowing people to say, well, I'm entitled to talk to you a certain way. I'm entitled to DM you and ask you because you're putting your shit out there. And I'm listening and I'm buying and I'm a viewer. And that's allowing you leverage in whatever sponsorship or whatever thing you have.
Yeah.
You know? And so it really makes me question all of those. I don't know. It's an ongoing thing. That's why I'm glad that you mentioned that people don't see the meals that you eat every day. But maybe we should. One of my favorite accounts that I follow is DJ Flips, and he posted today a meme of, he goes, "This is what people don't show you," and it's this couple that was hiking and they're on their little ropes, and she takes a terrible fall. It's terrible. She's hanging all over the place. Like, it is not a good look. And he was like, imagine if people posted these types of realities.
They post the one on the top, all pretty with the sunset or whatever.
Imagine you posting that pot pie that you burnt. That you
Right.
came home and
Fail.
you were pissed, your energy was off, but you're here cooking this pot pie. And then it all just blows up in your face. You gonna post that?
No, I was like, that doesn't happen.
Well, I mean,
Ever.
Well, like I just posted a pie crust that I totally butchered the other day, and I was like, and it said, well, they can't all be pretty. But you're right. You know what? Challenge accepted. Maybe in the next week, I will post every meal I have. Maybe not all the snacks. I eat a lot of snacks, but like, or maybe I will. Maybe I'll show you everything I eat in a day.
You eat a lot.
I eat a lot, but I eat a lot of small meals too. I eat a lot of healthy meals though as well.
That's important.
It is.
What
It's
you put
hard.
in your body.
It's very hard.
Like, I remember going over to Natalie's
Sucks.
house one day. I was like, why don't you have anything sweet in this house?
Yeah.
There are no sweets in this house.
I mean, I brought hot Cheetos today and I ate half the bag. Like, you don't just see that casually. But I'm like, here I am, not in my element. This is a fun night. I'm going to get hot Cheetos.
Noel, if you were on death row and you had your final meal, what would it be?
Mac and cheese.
What? From where?
From
Like, probably my own.
Oh, wait.
I don't care. It had to be just really good mac and cheese. That, a baked potato with a lot of butter and a lot of sour cream. And as
gonna
my
have to
main
follow with that
meal,
Wait, hold on. You said as my main meal. So what? These are all openers. I'd have been fine with just a mac and
These
cheese.
are my
shit.
sides.
That's my side. That's my side.
Noel is a high maintenance inmate, okay?
Listen,
so
bitch.
she needs her shit.
I would definitely probably want pork chops.
Interesting. Okay.
Some bacon wrapped asparagus, maybe.
Bacon
or
wrapped-
Brussels sprouts.
You made Brussels sprouts. Your Brussels sprouts were fire.
When did I make you Brussels sprouts?
When you made the little sausage thing with the mashed potatoes
Oh, I did.
and the
Oh yeah, at Stephanie's house.
yeah. hmm It wasn't your best, but you weren't feeling it anyways.
It wasn't my kitchen.
Oh, wait a minute. She
Not on
came-
the home field.
No.
Didn't you love
She-
that though?
I did, because she walked into Stephanie's kitchen and she was like, "Where's your? Was it a can opener? You were looking for some kind of tool, and then you weren't satisfied with the tool that she had,
The potato peeler.
the potato peeler. She was like, "What is this? This doesn't peel potatoes.
I'm gonna
This is trash.
I'm gonna Amazon her like 3 new ones just to be like, keep these.
What is
Well, did you not see me that I brought one of my knives here today?
It's okay. Well, let's talk about that. What is the most expensive?
Knives.
Okay, like how much are we talking here?
I think the set I just bought, which was like a 8 or 9 piece, was like almost $2,000. I
Oh
think.
my God!
No, that might be high. Maybe it was. No, you know what? It might have been like 1,200.
Even if it's $1,200.
I actually
on
don't
knives.
remember because we got a really good discount
And
and
you got a discount.
yeah, I got
Oh, fuck.
Cutco knives. They're beautiful. I'll post the ones I bought.
You know what? Honestly, though, they are beautiful. And the last time that we were at your place and you cooked for us, you were using the knives, and I had to comment. I was like,
They're beautiful
wow,
and they're
those are
white handled
cool
and they're
knives.
just
Yeah.
and I have 2 knife blocks.
A knife block?
Marina
Is that
bought-
where you sharpen it?
Yeah, Marina
Okay.
just bought me a new meat mallet.
A
Chris just-
meat mallet.
So
that's what you hit the
I
meat
could
with?
kill someone with this meat mallet. Don't fuck with me because I could kill someone with it. It is so fucking intense.
Noel.
And then Chris just bought me all the utensils, you guys. Chris just bought me a wireless meat thermometer where I can stick it in and it's on. It's called meat.
It has an app.
It tells you on
It's
your
like a
phone.
Bluetooth.
Yeah, it's Bluetooth. It's called Meter, and then you can stick it in. Like, so when I made prime rib and it had to go in there, so that way you don't open your oven and it tells you. And yeah, it's dope. Anyways,
Okay, is there any
wireless.
kitchen
Wow.
accessory that you wish you had that you don't have?
As of recently, no, I have everything I need.
Damn.
I could have like better like utensils, to be honest, like my mixing and my ladles. I could, but I could just buy those like as a one off, like at TJ Maxx, like the silicone ones or whatever. But like actual physical like things like frothers, and I've just bought a new blender.
A frother?
Wait, those frothers have become all the rage recently.
Wait, what's
I
a
feel
frother? For
everyone's
the
been
coffee
using
frother?
a
Yeah.
frother.
But I use
Do
it
you
for a lot
remember?
of other stuff too.
I've
What else
seen
do you
people
froth?
juice.
Ah, you're right. I guess just
Frothers,
mainly
but
milk.
coffee.
Milk
You
mainly.
you froth juice?
People are doing. I don't know. Some people I see like they're mixing some fucking juice shit, and I'm like, with the
What?
frother.
Interesting.
I don't know, but the frother. I feel like I need one.
Do
Right? There
I
we
mean,
go again.
I need
This social
utensils in
media again.
general, apparently. But do you have a favorite chef?
No.
You follow no celebrity chefs.
No.
Oh God.
You want to know why? You want to know who I follow? I follow the moms that have 3 kids and are cooking gourmet meals for their kids
Of
still.
course you are.
Because, like, it's a realistic thing. Why the fuck am I following a chef? I don't want to be a chef, and I don't ever want to cook like a chef. Ever. I want to cook meals that are going to feed my family and be sustainable, but be cheap still. Like, I'm
affordable.
I'm realistic. You know what I mean?
Would you
Is it
ever
like
open a restaurant?
No.
Why?
I don't want to own a restaurant. Would I manage one?
Bartley,
Yes.
scratch her name off the list. We're
Would,
done.
would I manage one? Yes. Would I would never want to.
You would never come up with a menu for someone.
No, I don't think so. Wait, that's different though.
Is it?
Would you do it for a podcast? Like, I have this vision in my head of like what I
see
envision
you.
this podcast being would be, and I think I've mentioned it on this podcast before. Maybe I've just mentioned it to Rickie. There's this show on Amazon.
Oh
Called
yes.
Pan y Circo by who's hosted by Diego Luna.
Wait, but Pani Circo means bread and circus.
Yeah. And so he gathers various activists, people that just are educated in a certain field or whatever the case may be. So there'll be like 4 or 6 people are gathered around a table, and then they have a chef who makes a meal catered to the specific topic that they're going to talk about, and they also bring in the chef to join in the conversation and talk about how this meal relates to the conversation or his or her perspective on the topic. And it's such a great series. You have to watch it. And that's kind of, I see that show and I'm like, this is what I would want this podcast to be. It's my dream.
Interesting.
Yeah. So can you be our
Oh,
chef?
wait, that's different though. You asked me if I ever want to be a chef in a restaurant. That's like, this is completely different.
A chef in an organization.
No,
a
I would
chef
never.
or
I
on
would,
this
but I would
frequency?
never call myself a chef ever.
Then what do you call yourself?
I'm just,
The cook.
a housewife.
Is that
awful.
imposter
a
syndrome?
housewife that's cooking?
Oh my God! What?
You want to know? Okay, you want to know why? Because I didn't go to school to cook.
That don't mean nothing.
That don't mean right.
It doesn't, but I would never call myself a chef. Like I would never call myself a pastry chef or a chef. Like I just like to cook. I believe it's a hobby.
Like you
I
don't
really-
want that title.
No,
Oh, you believe it's a hobby?
it's a hobby.
That's
yeah,
interesting.
I would never go. And that was one reason. Like I even dabbled with the idea of going to go to culinary school. I don't want that to be my job. That would ruin the fun for me.
So
I cook to have fun.
Let me ask you this question. So we are in the resignation era, right? Where because of COVID, people are leaving their corporate daytime jobs to pursue their passions, right? So in this particular case, would you say that you like cooking, but like you said, it's your hobby, it ain't your passion. You ain't trying to quit your day job to execute something of this nature?
No, I would not.
Why not? Why aren't you going to join the club of resignation of this era?
Because I would resonate for something else that's not cooking.
What is that?
I'm not telling you my secrets.
Listen, the
I
listeners
could
want to
have
know.
coworkers listening.
Oh, that's always tough.
Great, I just ruined it, but it's fine.
That's tough.
I mean, most
For
people
sure.
know that I'm
That's
doing
tough.
things on the side, but it's fine.
Okay, so
Well,
it's-
I like
but
that
reg-
you acknowledge that.
But
cooking
regardless,
is a
it's not
hobby.
happening right now.
that's
you know?
important. That
Anyways,
her
cooking is a hobby.
acknowledgement of cooking
Very
and
important.
hobby.
That would ruin the fun completely,
Yeah, I like that. I like
and
that
I
you
don't
said
want
that.
it. I don't want it to be ruined.
Yeah.
So you
Wanna love
wouldn't pursue your passion
No.
to make it a living. Any passion to make a living out of.
At this point in time, no.
Interesting.
I like it. I ain't mad at it.
Because you know what? We're just nibbling.
Mm. And that was Nibbling with Noel, y'all.
That was her drop right there. That
Thanks,
was
girl.
her
Thanks.
drop.
No, honestly, thank you for sharing all of that wonderful stuff with us and being here
Thank you for having me.
and cooking.
Yeah.
The baby's growing.
Natalie looks pregnant today. This is the first time.
Extremely pregnant.
I'm very pregnant.
It wasn't the food she ate.
No, it wasn't the food she ate.
But me, on the other hand,
Well, yeah, that's a different story. There
Oh,
is a
man.
baby in Natalie's womb,
Yeah,
and he's listening to all of this.
he is.
I hope
can
he
hear
likes to
you.
cook.
I hope so too. Maybe he can be in the kitchen.
Are you gonna make your own baby food?
You know, I put in my registry the baby bullet. I like to make
I'm gonna
all
buy it
that.
for
Oh
you.
yeah,
Send me the registry.
baby bullet.
I want
Yeah,
to
so
buy
I
that.
do want to. I do want to.
It's
cook
so
the
neat.
meals. Yeah, and it's like
It's super
kind of
easy
good, and it
too.
comes back to what we're saying. Like, there's nothing like a home cooked meal, and you're not gonna know what's in your food unless you make it. You know what I'm
Amen to that.
saying? So, all right, Noel. Well, we always ask our special guest what their favorite episode of On This Frequency is. So, we love your support. You're always giving us great feedback. And
Always.
you have, I think, in
Yes.
this episode even.
Yes.
So,
Get it together, ladies.
which is your favorite episode of ours?
Well, like I mentioned, it's definitely progress, not perfection. I really appreciate how you ladies just are aware of yourselves, and
Thank you.
it takes time to get to point A to point B, and that you can't be so harsh on yourself. And that self-awareness is so important. And I think I live by that by day. So I think I realize, it's important to just check in.
So
Yeah.
progress, not perfection. Do you consider yourself a perfectionist?
No.
That's shocking. I would say you do consider yourself a perfectionist. I've never seen.
I think I like to, I want things to be perfect, but it's okay if they're not.
That's true.
I'm not going to be like, I mean, in a little bit.
You
I'll be
pivot
upset,
very well.
but I pivot well.
You
like
pivot
I'm like
very well.
I'm like, okay, on to the next thing. Yeah, you're right. I do pivot.
You
well.
pivot very well, and that's impressive. I
It's
think,
hard.
Yeah, that's what wouldn't categorize you as a perfectionist is your ability to pivot.
Yeah,
It
the
can't always be
acceptance
perfect.
of change.
Yep.
I like
Or
that.
and fix it, you know,
Right.
and then fix it. Especially with my cooking.
Right.
Fuck it up and figure out why.
So we also ask our special guests if they have, any inspirational, again, point of reference, a book, a song, anything that they would recommend our listeners to tap into that's important. What would you leave our listeners who are worldwide or global? What do they need to know?
Fuck.
What do they need to know?
I honestly don't know when the last time I read a book was.
Like a physical book or an audible book?
I mean, but doesn't that it's the same thing? It's the book is a book, right?
Very different experiences.
No, different experiences. I mean, I've listened to both, or I've listened to audiobooks and I've read books. The one I recently read, which wasn't even recent, it was like 2 years ago. I'm trying to look up the title. It was called Lost Connections by Johan Hari.
Okay.
It's a book about uncovering depression and other illnesses, if you want to call them. A friend recommended that one to me. It was good. It was an audiobook. I mean, that was the last one I read, so that wouldn't be the one I recommend, I think.
Got it.
It was interesting. Music-wise, I can never recommend any music to anyone. Well, I can, but I don't ever recommend it. I just show people music, and there's a lot of people.
You're a great sharer.
There's
of
a lot
music.
of people out there that I just will send music to, and I actually just recently did it to a friend and that I haven't talked to in a couple weeks, and I sent him like 7 songs. He's like, "Oh, new music, Noel," and I was like, "Yeah, just wanted to share some stuff. Some of the
came
beats I
across.
heard, yeah."
Nice.
Noelle will be like, I'll send her a song,
Yeah.
and it's a good morning song for me, and I'm like, yeah. She'll be like, no, this is more
Wasn't
for the
it?
nighttime.
Oh, complete opposite.
This is
spectrum.
this is a song for 1:30 in the afternoon, Rickie. I don't know what you're doing at 5 o'clock in the morning
literally.
listening to this. She gets very specific like that.
But then I sort it into the playlist that's
Right.
relevant for me.
Right.
How funny.
And
Do you not do the same? I'm very
no,
curious.
no, no,
what I-
100%. Because
You just
she'll send
you
me
just
stuff.
don't tell me.
Right, no, I have. When you sent me that one girl, the I Am Woman, I was like,
yeah.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not
Put
impressed.
this in my feminist
Yeah.
playlist.
We do. We do exchange those things, and it's important because
Music.
feedback is important in all
Yeah.
things. In all things, feedback is important because it allows you to course correct your life.
Yeah.
You know,
Or just have that, be open to that perspective. Like,
Yes.
oh, 1:30. Well, fuck, it's 5 a.m. here. What you
yes,
talking about?
yes. So we'll reference the name of the book that you talked
Yeah,
about,
absolutely.
right? Would you say that reading that book, you implemented certain things about that book with your own life?
No,
Oh,
but I
okay.
learned a lot. I learned a lot about big pharma. That's for sure. And I think everyone should hear perspective on big pharma and the drugs that are given for depression and other illnesses, because it definitely made me not rethink or consider one way or the other, but definitely made me open my eyes to it.
Yeah. I like that.
Because a lot of people are very set in their ways when it comes to how illness it those
system.
how the healthcare how they handles things.
That's a good next episode because big pharma is
Big pharma is intense.
it's a great money maker.
And it's here to stay. Ain't going nowhere.
It is.
All right, girl. Well, thank you again, Noel, for joining us. Yes. It was fun having this conversation, having yummy food and yummy drinks.
It's been real, ladies.
All right. And so every week we read a review from one of our listeners. And this week's review comes to us from Oscarini, Oscarini. And the title of the review is called Call Your Dad, Mike. And
I
goes
love
on
that
to
episode,
say-
by the way. That
Oh, is
episode
that
was
so?
great.
Is he reviewed this based on that episode then?
I believe so. So this
Got
is what it says. Excellent podcast, great interview, topic, questions, and conversation. I like the honesty and the natural flow of the conversation. Found myself laughing out loud. I look forward to future therapy sessions. Smiley face.
Yes.
Thank you for that great review. We love our 5-star reviews. They're amazing. They make me feel good. So, with that, make sure to leave us a review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts and you see little stars and you see the little option for a review. Please click on it and give us your take. You can also support us by donating some coffee. Go to buymeacoffee.com/onthisfrequency. Yes, we're always thirsty. We're always in need of some caffeine. These days, my pregnant ass, I could use a little pick-me-up. So please. But that's it.
Yes. So this week's episode is brought to you by Rose City Sound with executive producer Big Brother Jake from the Big Brother Jake podcast. Produced and edited by Juicebox Bartley. Keep in touch. Send us your topic ideas at onthisfrequency@gmail.com. Noel and I always exchange music as we spoke. And so this week's closing song is dedicated to my cousin, Noel Mota Barlow. It's Vic Ruggiero's and his song, 23rd and 2nd.
Sorry, baby, but I ain't got that much class. And these are the questions I have about